We are going to practice the irregular verbs. We know that regular verbs like walk form the past form by adding ed at the end, walked. And the past participle is formed the same way, walked. When you first start learning and speaking English, it's not so important to know how to say, how to use the past participle, but you need to recognize it when you hear it or when you read it. You need to know a word like driven is the past participle of the word drive. Okay? So let's start, and we're going to do these. We are going to do these fairly quickly. You have to make up your own examples. Your own examples. You know the vocabulary now. You can make up your own examples of the words, the irregular verbs that we're going to use. Okay? There are 3 irregular verbs that don't change at all. Cut. Cut is always the same. Put. Put is always the same. Let. Let is always the same. To let, to put, to cut. Anytime you use it, it's always that word. The verb read, R-E-A-D, stays the same spelling, but changes to sound like read. I read the book. I had read the book. The book was read to me. I read a lot. Okay? Those are 4 easy ones. There are some verbs that only change once. We'll start with them. Build changes to built. Tom built the bridge. The bridge was built by Tom. Feel. Feel changes to felt. I felt lucky. How long have you felt sick? Hear changes to heard. Have you ever heard the song Yesterday? Yesterday? You ever heard the song Yesterday? Oh, I've heard it many times. I've heard it a lot. Keep. The verb keep changes to kept. He always kept a little money in his shoe, just in case. The socks are kept in the top drawer. Or there's an expression, a well-kept secret. There aren't many of those. A well-kept secret. Lend changes to lent. Lent. Simone lent Tom $100. He was worried because he had never lent his money before. Never lent him money before. Lose changes to lost. Rebecca lost her glasses. It wasn't the first time her glasses had been lost. Meet changes to met. Have you 2 met? I'm not sure. I think we might have met at a party a few months ago. Send changes to sent. She sent her friend a birthday card. The package was sent yesterday. Sit changes to sat. We sat down on the bench. We had just sat down on the bench when Tom told us it might break, so we got up in a hurry. These are strawberries, a fruit called strawberries. This is one strawberry. And this is called a sprig. It's like the word twig, but it's a sprig of cilantro. This is a sprig. This is a sprig of parsley. I forgot one easy irregular verb in the last lesson. I left it out. I left out an easy verb. Left out means not included. I left out an easy verb yesterday. If you order a pizza and the pizza comes and you open the box and you look at it, you say, "Oh man, they left out the onions. I really wanted onions." That's what left out means. The verb that I left out is cost. Cost does not change in the past or the past participle. It's always cost. Well, the pizza would have cost more if you got the onions. Sleep changes to slept. Sarah slept for 10 hours. 10 hours. I think she would have slept all day. Spend changes to spent. The expression spend the day or spend the week, I'm spending the week in Boston, means that you are spending time. You are spending the amount of time. So you can waste time, you can spend time, you can save time. It's just like money. Except you can earn money. You can't earn time. So, she spent the whole day shopping. She must have spent $1,000. Win changes to won. Did you win the race? Yes, I won. No, I lost. I would have won, but my shoe came untied, and I tripped, and I fell. Well, that's too bad. Bring changes to brought, and buy changes to bought. You have to remember those two. She brought home the things she bought after she went shopping. She would have bought more, but she ran out of money. She ran out of money. She would have bought more, and she would have brought more home. Lucky she ran out of money. Catch changes to caught. Catch. If you throw something like a ball, this is kind of like a ball, this grapefruit. If you throw something, you have to catch it. Throw and catch are kind of like opposites. You throw something and someone catches it. There's a very common expression to catch a cold. If you don't feel very good and you have to blow your nose and maybe you cough and maybe you have a sore throat and you need some cough drops. Maybe you caught a cold. That's called catching a cold. Did you catch a cold? I think I may have caught a cold. I don't feel very good. I think I may have caught a cold. Think changes to thought. I thought you ordered the pizza with onions. I love onions. Why didn't you order the pizza with onions? Oh, stop whining. Whining. Whining is a good word. You don't want to use it very often. It's not very polite. What are you whining about? You got a pizza, didn't you? What are you whining about? These are onions, red onions, a white onion, and this is garlic. This is garlic. I think it's a kind of onion, maybe in the same family. I use the expression make up your own examples of the sentences with irregular verbs. Make up means the same thing as imagine. You could also say think up. Think up your own examples means imagine an example that applies to you in your situation. Okay? Your own, the expression your own means examples that belong to you. You own them. You own them. If my students, if you needed apples so that I could demonstrate something in a lesson, I could say, okay, students, for this lesson, everyone needs to have their own apples. You'll have to take them home, so you'll need your own apples. Does everyone have their own apple? Make sure you each have your own apple. If you said, Tom, none of my friends are studying English. They say I'm wasting my time. I might say, well, you have to make up your own mind about things. You have to have your own ideas about how to spend your time. It's your life. Okay, more irregular verbs. Find changes to found. Did you find your glasses? I haven't found them yet. The last time I lost them, I found them in the driveway. Lucky I didn't run over them with the car. I found them in the driveway. Have changes to had. Have you ever had a pizza with lots of onions? Oh, you had to say that, didn't you? That's not funny. You know how I feel about onions. I love onions. Make changes to made. I have made up my mind. I'm going to learn English. I've made up my mind. I'm going to learn to speak English. There's a song, Don't Make Me Over. Don't make me over? It means don't try to change me. Just like me for who I am. Don't make me over. Pay changes to paid. Who's going to pay for the pizza? Well, I paid last time. Well, I would have paid, but I forgot my wallet. I left my wallet at home. Say changes to said. You said you had money. Well, I meant to say I had money, but it was in my wallet at home. I'll pay next time. I know I said that, but, well, you'll never see those onions. If I have anything to do with it, you'll never see another onion. Tell changes to told. Tom, would you tell us a story? Okay. Have I already told you the story about the hitchhiker? I might have told you about the hitchhiker already. Understand changes to understood. Did you understand the story? Did you understand the story about the hitchhiker? Yeah, I think I understood. It's never too late. I think that's what I understood. It's never too late. Tom, what are those? What are we looking at? Oh, those are golf balls. Well, Tom, why are you showing us a bowl full of golf balls? Why are you showing us golf balls? Well, I wanted to tell you that my wife and I went for a walk yesterday on the golf course, and we found all these balls. We got lucky. They're worth a lot of money. All those golf balls. You know, they're not free. You have to buy them. So we got lucky when we found these golf balls. something that is clear. You can see right through it. You can see through it. It's clear. The word clearly, as in clearly, you must have been awfully hungry if you ate 2 pizzas. It's clear to me that you were hungry. Means it's obvious. Anybody can see that you were hungry. Clearly, you were hungry if you ate 3 pizzas. Okay, here are some irregular verbs that change in the past form and change in the past participle, like the verb eat that you already learned. Eat, ate, eaten. I'll just say them and not try to explain the past and the past participle. You know what they are now. Begin, began, begun. Begin is almost the same as the word start. The word start begins with the letter S. It began to rain. It began to rain and he had to come inside. It began to rain. We've only just begun is the name of a song, is a song title. We've only just begun. Break, broke, broken. Be careful, don't break it. Don't break it. Oh, oops, I broke it. Now it's broken. Now it's broken. Now you've done it. Choose, chose, chosen. To choose is similar to decide. A person has to choose what to do with their life. She chose to become a doctor. May you be happy in the life you have chosen. May you be happy in the life you have chosen. Drive, drove, driven. Do you know how to drive? She drove to the store. She has driven to the store many times. She likes to drive and she likes to shop. Drink, drank, drunk. To drink means to drink water, but it means to drink alcohol. This is wine. Wine has alcohol in it. There's an expression, don't drink and drive. That means don't drink alcohol and drive. It's dangerous. If you drink too much, you are drunk. You can get drunk. Drunk, the word drunk comes from the past participle of the word drink. It's very hard to use as the past participle, but the word drunk is used a lot. Okay, drink, drank, drunk. He was so thirsty that he drank 4 glasses of water. He drank a lot at the party. He got drunk. Fall, fell, fallen. There's an expression, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. That means a child is like his mother or father, usually in a not very good sense. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. The leaves fell. The leaves fell from the tree. All the leaves have fallen. The leaves have fallen. Fly, flew, flown. She's afraid of flying. She never flies. She takes the bus. The money flew out of her pocket. She couldn't stop buying things. The money flew out of her pocket. Have you ever flown? Have you ever flown in a helicopter? Have you ever flown in a helicopter? Flown. Forget, forgot, forgotten. Sometimes I forget my glasses. Did you remember to bring your glasses? No, I forgot them. Darn, I forgot my glasses. When she got to the store, she realized she had forgotten. She realized she had forgotten her glasses, so she couldn't read the prices on the boxes. She couldn't tell what things cost. She couldn't tell what things cost. But she bought things anyway. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. She bought things anyway. Okay, we'll continue with more irregular verbs. See, saw, seen, hide, hid, hidden, know, knew, known. I really like nuts. If I see some nuts around the house, I have to eat them. I have to eat them. I can't stop myself. My wife knows me very well, so she hides the nuts. She hides the nuts from me. She thinks if I don't know where they are, I won't eat them, and I won't get fat. Yesterday, she hid them behind the books. But I knew where they were because I saw her doing it. I saw her hiding them. If she had seen me watching her, she would have hidden them somewhere else. If she'd seen me watching her, she would have hid them somewhere else. My wife and I have known each other a long time. She knows me very well. Write, wrote, written, give, gave, given, take, took, taken. Tom, would you write the address of your website? Would you write down the address of your website? Oh, sure. And would you give it to me, please? Sure. There you go. Thank you. I wrote the address, I gave it to you, and you took it. I wrote the address, I gave it to you, and you took it. The address was written by me and given to you. You take pictures with a camera. I thought I had taken a lot of pictures yesterday, but I found out the camera wasn't working. The camera was broken. I thought I had taken a lot of pictures. Wake, woke, woken, get, got, gotten, swim, swam, swum. In the summer, when it's warm outside, I usually wake up early, get out of bed, have some coffee, and then go for a swim. Usually I swim for a half hour. This morning I woke up late. I got up around 8 and I only swam for 20 minutes. If I had gotten more sleep, I could have woken up earlier and I could have swum a little longer. Ring, rang, rung, speak, spoke, spoken. This is the sound of a ring. That sound is called a ring. When the phone rings, you might hear this after you say hello. Hello, may I speak to Hugo, please? Yesterday the phone rang, and you answered it. It was your boss. He spoke to you about your job. If the phone had rung the day before yesterday, you would not have spoken to him because you were out of town. You were out of town. You weren't there. You were out of town. Come, came, come, become, became, become. If you combine, that means put things together. If you combine the sounds of the letter S, S, and the letter H, the sound becomes sh. The combination of these two letters becomes sh. When you combined the sound of the letter C, k, with the letter H, the sound became ch, ch. If you had combined this letter T with the letter H, the letter T, t with the letter H, the combination would have become th, th, as in the. I'm going to tell a joke. I'm going to tell a joke. Whenever somebody says they're going to tell a joke, they also say, stop me. Stop me if you've heard this one. Stop me if you've heard this one. Okay? I'm going to tell a joke. Once there was an old woman who lived by herself, who lived by herself in a house with only her parrot for company. A parrot is a bird. A parrot is a kind of bird that knows how to talk. One day the sink stopped working in the woman's house. The sink broke, and she had to call a plumber. She wanted to make the sink work, so she had to call a plumber. While she was waiting for the plumber, she remembered that the parrot needed some food, so she went to the store. While she was at the store, the plumber came to the house, and he knocked on the door, and he heard, who's there? And the plumber said, it's the plumber. I've come to fix the sink. The plumber spoke English very well. I've come to fix the sink. And nobody came to the door. So he knocked again, a little louder. And he heard, who's there? And he said, it's the plumber. I've come to fix the sink. And nobody came to the door, so he knocked real loud. And he heard, who's there? And he said, it's the plumber. And then he had a heart attack, and he fell down on the doorstep. And the woman came home, and she saw the person lying there on her doorstep, and she said, my goodness, who's that? Who's that? And she heard the parrot say, it's the plumber. He's come to fix the sink. Grow, grew, grown, forget, forgot, forgotten, forgotten. A little plant like this has just started to grow. To grow. To grow means to get bigger. I don't know the real name of this plant, but we call plants like this a house plant. A house plant because they grow in the house. When this plant is grown, fully grown, it'll probably be about 6 inches, about 6 inches high. People grow too. When people get older, when they're an adult, they're sometimes called grown-ups. Grown-ups. I have a niece. Her name is Caitlin. I am her uncle. I am Caitlin's uncle. The day a person is born is called their birthday. Let's see. Today I have a dentist appointment. I have to go to the dentist at 9:30. He's going to look at my teeth, and then I have a haircut at 11. I hope he doesn't cut it too short this time, like the last time. I'll ask him to leave it a little longer this time. Let's see. Oh no. What's this? I forgot Caitlin's birthday. Hi, it's Tom. I'm fine. Is Caitlin around? Oh, good. Can I talk to her? Oh, great. Hi, Caitlin. It's your Uncle Tom. Hi, happy birthday. I'm calling to wish you a happy birthday. It's not today. It was yesterday. Oh, I thought it was today. Well, happy birthday anyway. You're, how old? 17? You're 17 now? Almost a grown-up. Okay, you are a grown-up. Do you remember what an ugly baby you were? Oh, I'm just kidding. I'm sure you were as pretty then as you are now. Did you get the present I sent? Must not have gotten there yet. What is it? I can't tell you. I can't tell you what it is. It's a surprise. Okay, I'll give you a hint. It's bigger than an apple and smaller than a refrigerator. No more hints. No more hints. You'll just have to wait. Okay, I hope you had a happy birthday yesterday, and I hope I see you soon. Okay? Okay? All right, bye. I wish I hadn't forgotten her birthday. I'd better get to the store after my haircut. What kind of present do you get for a 17-year-old girl? If you have a friend you've known for a long time, since you were a child, you could say you grew up together. We grew up together. I've known her for a long time. We grew up together. This is a sport called boxing. Boxing. This is a boxing ring. I don't know why it's called a ring. A ring is something round, circular, like a wedding ring. It should be called a boxing square, but they call it a boxing ring. The men in the boxing ring are called fighters. Fighters, or boxers. They fight each other. They hit each other. They hit each other or punch each other with their hands. A long time ago, it was very dangerous to be a boxer. You could be hurt very badly. Tom, excuse me, how do I know what a word means if it looks the same and sounds the same, like ring, like ring? Well, you know when you understand the situation, when you understand what's going on. A fancy word is the context, when you know the context. When the referee rings the bell, the men in the ring stop fighting. To make sure the boxers do not hurt each other, they wear special equipment. They wear gloves on their hands and helmets or headgear on their heads. That's so they don't get hurt. They wear equipment. They wear gloves and they wear helmet. This is another kind of glove. It's called a work glove. You use it when you work. It's made out of leather. It's made of leather. This is another kind of headgear, another kind of helmet. It's called a bicycle helmet. A bicycle helmet. It protects your head in case you fall over or run into something, or in case you have an accident. In some sports, like boxing, people will bet money on the person they think will win. That's called making a bet or betting. Okay? The verb wear is wore in the past and worn in the past participle. What did she wear to the party last night? She wore blue jeans and a sweater. She would have worn something else, but she didn't have time to change her clothes. The verb hurt is an easy one. It's always the same. Are you okay? Did you hurt yourself? It's a good thing you wore your helmet. You might have gotten hurt. You might have hurt yourself. Bet is always the same. I bet $50 on the fight. I should have bet more. The boxers in the ring do not stand still. They move around the ring. Otherwise, it's too easy to get hit. Ouch! Ow! He just stood there. He didn't move around. It's no wonder he lost the fight. If he hadn't just stood there, he might have won. The boxer threw a punch, but he missed. He would have thrown more punches, but he got tired. He fought okay, but he thought he could have fought better. He could have fought a better fight. Sometimes if you disagree with someone and they disagree with you, you might have an argument. You might get into an argument. An argument is kind of a fight, but you use words instead of boxing gloves. It's called an argument. I thought you were going to pay for the pizza. Well, you said you were going to pay for the pizza. Well, last time I paid for the pizza. The word argue is also a regular verb. What did they argue about? Oh, they argued about money. It was a silly argument. They both felt bad about it afterwards. It was a silly argument. They argued about money. In lesson 361, I told Caitlin, my niece, that I thought today was your birthday. I knew it was not her birthday. I did not tell the truth. I told a lie. I lied. Lie is also a verb. I lied. A person who lies, who tells a lie, is called a liar. A liar. Okay? Now listen closely. Listen closely. Never call someone a liar. It is a very serious accusation. It is very impolite. But, or however, if you say something that you know is not exactly true, so that you don't hurt someone's feelings or make them feel bad, it's called a little white lie. A little white lie. Do you like my haircut? How do you like my haircut? Oh, yeah. It looks great. Love your haircut. Looks great. Um, do you think this dress makes me look fat? Do you think I look fat? Oh, no. You look terrific. Yeah, that's a great dress. You look terrific. You didn't lie exactly. You just didn't say what you thought. Little white lies are very useful if you are married. The verb hit is always the same in the past participle. Hit, hit, hit. The boxer had been hit so many times he quit. He gave up. He said, no more, no more. And he stopped fighting. This is a drum. If you hit a drum hard, it's called beating a drum. You beat the drum. He beat the drum. This is a rug, a rug. You walk on a rug inside your house. He is beating a rug. You beat a rug to clean it. Beat, beat, beaten. The boxer said no more. He was a beaten man. He was a beaten man. Hang, hung, hung. You hang a rug on a clothesline. This is called a clothesline to clean it. He hung the rug on the clothesline to clean it. The rug was hung on the clothesline. The rug was hung on the clothesline. Dig, dug, dug. This man is digging a hole. This is called a hole, digging a hole in the ground. Digging a hole in the ground with a shovel. This is called a shovel. What is this man doing? He is digging a hole. He is digging a hole in the ground. Yesterday, he dug a hole and then he planted a tree. He planted a tree in it yesterday. The hole was dug. The hole was dug with a tool called a shovel. He dug the hole with a shovel. The verb run becomes ran in the past, and then it goes back to run in the past participle. Hurry up! You're going to be late. Run! We're going to be late. He was so hungry, he ran all the way to the store. That's the past form. He ran all the way to the store. He had never run to the store before. That's the past participle. He had never run to the store before. The expression run into is used in many ways. You can run into a tree when you're driving. Ouch! You run into also can mean to meet somebody by accident. By accident. Oh, Tom, hi. I didn't expect to see you here. I'm glad I ran into you. I want to talk to you about something. Forgive changes to forgave in the past and forgiven in the past participle. I'm sorry I said those things to you. Can you ever forgive me? Am I forgiven? Oh, I forgave you a long time ago. Let's just forget it. Let's just forget it happened. There's an expression, forgive and forget. Forgive and forget. There's also another expression, Easier said than done. Easier said than done. When a person, a good person, has lived a long time and they get old and they die, at the funeral, the speaker might say, "He fought the good fight. His race is run. He is gone, but not forgotten." The verb shut is another easy verb. It's always the same. "I thought you shut the door." It was shut, but the wind blew it open. Blew is the past form of the word blow. The door was blown open by the wind. The door blew open. The wind blew it open. Ride changes to rode in the past. I try to ride my bike every day. Ride every day. Yesterday I rode my bike to town. Ridden is the past participle. Have you ever ridden a bicycle built for two? Lead becomes led in the past and the past participle. In most dances, the man leads the woman. The man leads and the woman follows. The man led the woman around the dance floor. The woman was led by the man. Hold becomes held in the past tense. Here, hold this. Okay. She held the baby in her arms. The baby was held by the mother. Freeze changes to froze in the past. It was so cold last night that the pond froze. It was frozen solid. Draw becomes drew in the past. I drew this picture a few minutes ago. Maybe Tom could have drawn a better picture if he took his time. Taking your time means not being in a hurry. If someone says take your time, it means there's no hurry. They say is an expression that means people say or it is said. They say that a strong person can bend a nail. I can't. Can you? I can't. I bent the pen and it broke. I bent the pen and it broke. The wind blew so hard that it bent the tree. The wind blew so hard it bent the tree. Stick becomes stuck in the past and the past participle. Tom, where did you stick the grocery list? Where did you stick the note? Oh, I stuck the note. I stuck the note on the glass. The door was stuck shut. I couldn't open it. I don't know why it was stuck. It was stuck shut. After it snowed, the car was stuck in the driveway. I couldn't get it out. The car was stuck in the driveway. The verb lay is similar to put. Okay, it's your turn. You lay 2 cards on the table. Face up or face down? Face down. Okay, now lay 3 more cards on the table face up. Okay, 1, 2, 3. The past of lay is laid. I laid 3 cards on the table. Past participle is also laid. The cards were laid on the table. There's an expression, to lay your cards on the table. It means to be honest about something, to tell somebody everything that you know about it. Tom, did you really remember Caitlin's birthday? Okay, I'm gonna lay my cards. I'm gonna lay my cards on the table. I didn't remember her birthday until the day after, until one day later, but I pretended I did so that she wouldn't feel bad. Okay? All right, I laid all my cards on the table. Do becomes did in the past and done for the past participle. Tom, what do I need to do to speak good English? To speak good English, what do I need to do? Well, did you study all the lessons in Hugosite? Yes, I think I've done them all. Are you sure you've done all the lessons? Well, okay, Tom. I'll lay my cards on the table. The truth is, I might have skipped a few lessons. Skipped means you jumped over. You jumped over a lesson or something because you didn't think it was important. You didn't think it was very important. Maybe I skipped a lesson or two. Well, I have some good news. If you have gotten this far in Hugosite, the expression gotten this far, I can explain that. Let's say I tried to walk all the way to Boston. I tried to walk to Boston, but I couldn't. I got tired. You could ask me, Tom, how far did you get? Which means, what distance did you walk? Tom, how far did you get? So, if you have gotten this far in Hugosite, you know a lot of English. And now you know almost every irregular verb. Almost every irregular verb. I'm sorry that it was a little boring, a little tedious, but my congratulations. Remember, it is usually difficult, very hard to use the past participle when you're speaking. When you first learn English, it's very hard to use the past participle. But you need to recognize the past participle. You need to understand it when you see it or hear it. But you do need to know the simple past. I learned English. Tom taught me. It was kind of fun. I learned English. Tom taught me. It was kind of fun. That's all simple past. A book that tells you how to make different things to eat is called a cookbook. A cookbook or a recipe book. A cookbook is filled with recipes. A recipe tells you how to make something to eat. This is my favorite cookbook. It's called The Key to Chinese Cooking. The Key to Chinese Cooking. This is a key. Called The Key to Chinese Cooking. A cookbook is a very good way to learn English. Let's try a recipe, you and I. Okay? The first part of a recipe is called the name of the recipe. This is called chilled sweet and sour red onions. You know sweet, you know sour, you know red, and you know onions. Chilled is cold. It's like cold. The second part of a recipe is the description. It tells you what the food is like, what you're going to eat, what you're going to make. It describes it to you. This says, these onions are crisp and crunchy, and they are delectable. They are wonderful as part of a cold platter. Now, you don't know all those words, but you can look them up. You look them up in your dictionary, and then put the word in the text-to-speech tool to see how it sounds.
Google Gadget. Text-to-speech tool. Google Gadget. Text-to-speech tool. Apple free. How's that?
The third part of a recipe is called the ingredients. The ingredients are the things you need to put in the dish. The thing you're going to eat is sometimes called a dish. These are the things you put in the dish and that you'll need to put in order to make the food. The word sauce means a liquid like water, different kinds of liquids that have a taste, have different tastes. It's called a sauce. Many foods have sauces. The fourth part of the recipe are the instructions or the directions. Directions or instructions tell you how to make something, how to do something, called the directions or the instructions. So if you use your dictionary and your text-to-speech tool, you can learn a lot of vocabulary, and you can learn how to cook. If you use something a lot or wear something a lot, it can get worn out. Worn out means you've used it so much that it can't be used anymore. It's worn out. This is the same cookbook. I wore it out. I wore out this one, so I had to buy a new one. This one's worn out. These are peas, split peas. They're split in half. They're split in half. They were round, but now they're split in half. Split peas. Okay, you and your friend Tanya are at a restaurant. You look at the menu and you say, Tanya, I'm not that hungry. Not that hungry means the same thing as I'm not very hungry or I'm not too hungry. I'm not that hungry. Do you want to split a pizza? Or you could say, do you want to share a pizza? Splitting a pizza means you split it in half. Sharing means you take some and I take some and then you take some. We share it. Do you want to split a pizza? Tanya says, that's a good idea. I'm not that hungry either. So, after you have eaten your pizza, you have to pay for the pizza. You owe the restaurant money. You owe them money. If you borrow money from someone, or the plumber fixes the sink, you owe them some money. You owe them money for what they did, or for the money you borrowed. You owe them some money. You'll hear the expression, how much do I owe you? How much do I owe you? That's the usual way to say it. Or what do I owe you? How much do I owe you? If you borrow money from a friend, sometimes they give them an IOU, which stands for I owe you. I owe you money. I owe you some money, and this is the date, and this is your signature. It's called an IOU. I'll give you an IOU. Can you lend me $20? I'll give you an IOU for it, so you remember. So, at the end of your meal at the restaurant, after you have finished eating, you have to get the check or the bill. That tells you how much you owe, the check or the bill. How do you say that? How do you tell them you want your bill? Well, you can just say, the check, please, or the bill, please, to the waiter or waitress. If the waiter or waitress does not see you, sometimes you have to catch their eye or get their attention. You have to get their attention. They don't see you. Or you have to get them to notice you. The universal sign for asking for the bill is, excuse me. You can make this gesture. Maybe you say, check, please, check, please, to yourself. You whisper, check, please. So, your friend pays for the pizza and you say, oh, that was good. How much do I owe you? And your friend says the pizza was $13, so you owe me $7. And you say, oh, $7? I thought we were splitting it. And Tanya says, well, you had the half with the onions. Oh, boy. Okay. This is where you and I live. This is our home. This is our world. This is our world. It's called the Earth. It's called the Earth. The Earth is one of 9 planets. The Earth is one of 9 planets in the solar system. What's called the solar system. If you go outside your house, if you go outside and you look up, you are looking at the sky. You look up when you're outside, you are looking at the sky. If it is nighttime, you might see the moon, or you might see a star or some stars, or millions of stars together in a cluster, in a group is called a galaxy. You might see stars, you might see the moon. If it is daytime and you look up, you might see the sun. If there aren't too many clouds, these are called clouds. This is a cloud. This is called lightning. Lightning. And the sound it makes is called thunder. The sound is called thunder. If there is a lot of rain or a lot of thunder or a lot of snow, it's called a storm. A snowstorm or a rainstorm or a thunderstorm. Boom, boom. This is a tool called a compass. It helps you with directions. There are 4 points to the compass: north, south, west, and east. North, south, west, and east. The Earth is a sphere like a grapefruit or a golf ball. It is a sphere. This half of the Earth is called the Northern Hemisphere. The Northern Hemisphere. Hemisphere means half a sphere. This is the Northern Hemisphere. This is the Southern Hemisphere. The Earth travels around the sun in 1 year. In the Northern Hemisphere, The year has 4 seasons. In 1 year, the earth has 4 seasons. Summer, when it is hot. Fall, when it gets cooler and plants lose their leaves. Winter, when it's cold. And spring, when plants start to grow again. Summer, fall, winter, spring. These are continents. The world is divided into water and land. Water and land. These pieces of land, these land masses are called continents. Continents. Smaller ones are called islands. Islands. I live in the North American continent. I live on an island in the North American continent. These bodies of water are called oceans or seas. If this is North America, this is called the Atlantic Ocean, and this is the Pacific Ocean. Smaller bodies of water are called lakes. And smaller than that are called ponds. I have a pond. In my yard, I have a pond. This is called a river. Running water. Running water in a land mass, in a continent, is called a river. A small river is called a stream or a brook. A stream or a brook. Everything outside of yourself, the sun, the moon, the planets, the stars, the galaxies, everything outside yourself is called the universe.